I'm Kayla.
I'm Anna. This is Laughs and Legacies. Hey, welcome back to Laughs and Legacies. Last week, I think I said that this one was going to be...
Sleepwalking.
We're not doing that one yet. We're actually going to do a time I was on a boat. Freak yeah. We have actually so many of these stories, but we have other people that submitted quite a few. So this is going to be good.
We will do the sleepwalking one a different week.
We have so many prompts, you guys. We're posting them, though, so you can go see it. It'll look on Laughs and Legacies Instagram and or TikTok, and we're going to just post everything that, is going to be coming up and just get inspiration for ideas and stories, etc. Anyways, to boat stories.
Anyways, sorry, yeah,
You, bro. That's you.
Okay. The first thing that, came to my mind was my family goes kayaking all the time down the Salt River. And there is one spot that we always remember that there is a hidden rock, like a massive boulder underneath the water. You can't see it. I've hit it, my mom hit it, somebody else has hit it, I'm sure, before. But when you hit it, it's like it actually stops you in your track. It's not like you just bump over it. No, you stop, then you flip to the side, and the kayak is just filling with water. I'm like, well, how do I move at this point? Yeah, it's scary. But we all know where the hidden rock is at this point. So that's our little kayak story.
Side note about the Salt River. Well known when you come here to go down it during the summer. A lot of people do tubes, and everyone loves that, especially if you're, you drink all day and stuff like that. That's super fun and relaxing. I've never had fun tubing. I'm sorry. Call me a hater. I'm so impatient.
I'm a hater too.
I'm mighty impatient. After the first hour, I'm like, okay, how much longer? And they're like, four more hours. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
It's very still in a lot of places.
Yeah.
There's only few spots of rapids. I don't even want to say rapids even. They're so puny.
Yeah. It's just tiny bit of white water, that's totally normal. It's so chill the whole time. Enough that everyone can tube down it, It is fun though, and there's wild horses, so it's super dope.
The wild horses are my favorite part for sure.
Okay, another one. We had some friends that always brought us to go on their houseboat or just boating. In fact, he's a neighbor down the street. His kids never wanted to wake up at 4 a.m. before school or whatever to go boating, and he thought they were lame, and so he'd be like, okay, Tim, our dad, do your kids want to go boating at 4 a.m.? Mm-hmm. We absolutely did. We woke up and we went boating at 4 a.m. on the glass water and did
before school, before work.
Yes. Oh, it was so good. It was perfect. And they also invited us for 2 years to go on their houseboat in Lake Powell, and it was so fun. Now, the kids weren't really allowed inside during the night. They weren't allowed to sleep in there. There wasn't enough room, so all the kids slept on the deck on top. And one night I'm on the back end of the deck, watching the moonlight, having a deep conversation with my friends, and all of a sudden we hear a scream and a huge splash, okay? Just, whoosh! It is the dead of flippin' night, and we're like, what was that? And we rush to the front of the boat that's beached, and we are looking in the water. We see ripples and everything in the seaweed. And my mom plops up. And we're like, what the heck? Everyone wakes up like, what's going on? What's going on? And she gets up out of the water and she's going, she's fine, but
it just scared her, really, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And who wouldn't that scare? To just fall in when you were not expecting.
They're in the water. You can see the railing of the boat. She had just leaned up against the railing. Whoosh, it just busted and she fell in. Scared the crap out of us.
I love it. I honestly don't remember it that much.
From Lake Powell?
I don't know why I don't remember that. I remember hearing about it, but what was I doing? Oh, I don't know.
I have so many stories at Lake Powell, all the storms. It was fun doing tube wars, and then it was so windy and stormy in Lake Powell that you'd hit a little baby wave, but the wind would take you and make you fly. You're just one person on your stomach on a tube. You're like, woo! And you would. I remember we went like this, and one person flipped completely over and smashed on top of the other tube. It was crazy. I can't believe we don't die. We made it, kids. Give us a medal.
Tubing's so fun. I remember holding on so tight because I was so afraid to fall off as a kid. I would get off and I would have like white marks of the handlebars.
Yes.
So I loved it.
Okay, do you guys remember getting like chafing marks on your chin from the
Life Vest?
Life Vest all day? I always got chafing marks on my chin. I have no idea how, but it would like ride up and then I would like hit it
I never did.
all day long. Just me. Okay.
Just you.
But when I'm in the water, I just told someone this the other day. I used to be afraid of the fish. So when I fell off of the boat or anything like that, I would hold onto my life jacket and bring my feet up close to my body and bob like an egg, like on the water, because I didn't want anything touching my toes.
That's so. I don't like it either.
Icky.
I got another story of our mom. She was like 17, 18, something like that. She was in Scotland and she went on a little dinghy with her great uncle, and I think her mom was there, so our grandma, on this little boat, and they were going fishing. He threw out, he was like showing her how to do stuff and said, hey, throw out this line. It had like a rock or a weight at the bottom and then had like 6 or something different hooks on this line, back to back to back. So my mom throws it in and he's like, just pull it up whenever you feel something. So she felt something like pretty quick, pulls it out of the water, and there is a hook or a fish on every single hook. And you know, most people when you go fishing, I feel like they're pretty good about taking fish off their hooks, right? They like go in and go behind. I don't know how it works because I don't like fishing. But you take them off their gills and whatnot. He did not care. He just, oh no! Blood is spewing everywhere, and she's like, as he's just ripping it off, and he's like walking up and down this little dinghy. It's not a steady boat, like no big deal. And our grandma tells my mom, goes, he doesn't even know how to swim. So he's like about to fall in the water, ripping and like throwing fish everywhere, blood everywhere, and he's about to fall in and doesn't know how to swim. And my mom was just like, wow, this is like the craziest fishing experience ever.
For these people born on a flippin' island and don't know how to swim blows my ever-loving mind. Grandma, to this day, doesn't know how to swim.
I mean, if that's cold water, I wouldn't want to get in it either.
Yeah. When we went up to Matavig, the town where her fam's at, I remember seeing the water and there's a bunch of little like jellyfish and everything in there. Like the water.
There you go. Another reason not to get in.
The water looks so cool and beautiful though. Like it looks fun to swim in, but it's also freezing.
Jellyfish like warm water, so that's interesting.
I just remember seeing them on the top. They were small, but they were pretty. They were really pretty. They were like clear. They weren't like fluffy or anything, if that makes sense. But when we were there was a guy. He's like, "You guys want to go on my boat into the lagoon?" We're like, abso-freaking-lutely. And we go, and he has a little lifeboat on the back of it, and it's just small enough for his little doggy to sit there, and he loved it. His name was Jasper. I remember him. He's cute.
Jasper. That's cute.
It was awesome.
I love that. Our next story is from our my friend Bailey. I'm just going to tell it as she wrote it. I was attending girls' camp back when I was 14 or so, and my leaders decided we should all go out on the lake in kayaks. Now, I am such a clumsy person, and everyone around me knows that. It's a miracle I haven't broken a bone yet. Knowing that, we went out on the lake, and they put me by myself in a kayak. They're like, she's clumsy, stick her by herself. We don't want to go with her. There were probably 15 to 20 other girls. Some of the girls thought, hey, it would be such a good idea to play bumper boats, and started running their boats into everyone else. I, being completely oblivious to this, decided to go see what everyone else was doing, when somebody knocked me right on the side. Luckily, I didn't fall out when she did this, but one of my oars fell out.
Oh,
It started floating away, so rather than rowing to it, I tried to reach for it, which led me to fall out of the kayak.
Oh, no.
It wasn't just a small little fall either, it was violent. that she put that word just makes it so
What happened?
I guess she just fell hard. I don't know. It was violent and sent the kayak in the opposite direction.
Oh,
No. So I was stranded in the 60-degree water. Another person came in to rescue me, and all was well, but needless to say, they didn't let me go back in the lake after that.
They didn't let her back in? No.
I love babies.
It was violent. I need more imagery words like this. You guys, this is fan-freaking-tastic.
That, like, changed the whole story. I could have just said, oh, I just fell in. It was violent.
I just imagine jumping in, just boom, the boat just launches and goes away, and just watching it. You're like, no. Actually, if you've ever been on a canoe and you want to jump off the canoe, everyone knows that you're supposed to jump off of the front or the back. I don't know what those are called, okay? I don't know the words. But the front or the back, never the sides. Want to know why? Because it's a flippin' boat.
It's gonna fall over.
Yeah. So I was in a canoe one time with, I think it was my mom or dad. I think it was my mom, actually. And I was like, hey, do you care if I jump out at this part? And she's like, oh, not at all. And so I go and I get ready and I jump out, and she's expecting me to jump off the front like a smart person, but I was a kid, and I jump off the side, and everyone's like, I was like, oh, nice. And everyone's like, whoa, I'm freaking out, and I turn around, and our canoe is upside down, and mom's going
She was so dramatic when she fell in the water, like it was 20-degree water.
Guys, she's not really freaking out. It's just her expression.
It's how
it's used incorrectly. So she'll like see something really cool on Instagram that's like mildly cool, but she'll go, and I'm like, good gracious, am I gonna crash my car or something? What's wrong? She's like, no, someone just posted they got engaged, and I'm like, that's so good. I'm so glad.
I'm so happy for them.
Yes.
Don't ever do that again.
I just pooped my pants. I'm so glad for them, though. Thank you. Our last story is from the very family that when we go boating with them, every time one of them gets hurt, broken nose, busted teeth, blue balls, or really bad concussions where they forget where they're at and they wake up and they go, why are we at the lake? Why is there blood? That was Kyle. Sorry, buddy. Okay.
I honestly don't even think it's just like them, but we were cursed. I feel like anytime we went with someone boating, we were never the ones that owned boats. But when we went with somebody else, somebody got hurt.
Is there another story like that? Who else got hurt?
I feel like there was always something. There was always something.
The Bruntons, did any of them get hurt? I feel like...
I don't know. I can't remember. I feel like one of the times we went wakeboarding, somebody had to have done something.
The worst when you're wakeboarding is falling flat on your face. It hurts so bad. I'd rather crash on a snowboard than a flippin' wakeboard and hitting your face.
I've actually had a bloody nose from hitting my face. So
really?
Hard. Yeah.
Oh, it hurts booty. And some people they'll scorpion, and their board hits their head, and oh, those are bad. One of our cousins that does sick tricks and flips, he crashed and the board hit him in his beautiful teeth and busted it. It was so sad.
He actually had a hole right in his bottom lip. Like, through his bottom lip, he had whacked so hard.
He's really good at it, though. He's awesome. Anyways, this is from that family, our cousin Sarah. She says, one time I was on a boat, and in my family, we go hard in tubing.
If you don't go hard, don't go tubing. Just flat out. Sorry.
Hence everyone getting wrecked.
Injured.
Broken noses. It is our favorite thing ever to get people flying off the tube. Well, 4 of us were on the rocket tube. Everything was fine and dandy, all staying strong in the tube, till we hit a massive wave. The 2 people behind me flew off, my brother in front of me flew up, and he did a backflip and hit me in the face with his head. I flew off. I was floating in the water with the most agonizing pain and blood everywhere. Well, I broke my nose.
I was actually on the back of that tube. So
really?
It was me, Sarah in the middle, I thought it was just 3 of us. Maybe I'm missing somebody, but Kyle was in the front. He did a backflip, hit her. He landed back on that tube, by the way.
Are you freaking kidding me?
He hit her. She flew off. I somehow stayed on. And then he landed back on the tube. When he landed, I was like, no way.
He was probably like,
He was freaking out. It was so funny. But then we heard her screaming and we were like, oh, shoot.
By the way, that kid Kyle, who was on the front and did a backflip and hit her with his head, that's the kid I gave a concussion to. I was in the front. I flew backwards, did a backflip. My head hit him, and he had a bad concussion.
Oh, this is a different one.
This is a different one.
I was like, you weren't on that one.
No. He blamed me for forever. He was like, you shouldn't have been in the front. Well, now I know that he has a story where he wrecked and broke someone's nose. So, eat water, Kyle. Okay.
Eat water.
Well, I broke my nose. A few years later, we were tubing again in Lake Powell. Decided to do tube wars. Well, the second tube hit a wave, and my cousin flew off her tube onto my tube and hit me in the face. My cheek was massive for the rest of the trip, to say the least. 10 years later now, I'm doing an eye exam, and they tell me my retinas in both eyes are torn and falling off. All from my head trauma. The only head trauma I've ever had is from boating. I had to have my retinas lasered back to my eye, all because I wanted to have fun on a boat.
Isn't that so bad? I mean, we were there for both of these massive accidents, but I did not know she still to this day had issues because of them.
Just imagine you go, they say, yeah, your retinas in both your eyes are torn and they're falling off. Let's laser those suckers back on. You're like, what?
And from head trauma, from boating as a kid. My gosh.
Look, it's all about the memories, the experience. You had fun though, right?
I remember both of those so vividly in my mind. Him flipping backwards, her flying from one tube to the other. Like, whoever, like, flew from one tube to the other, first off, they went, hit Sarah, and they hit their tube again. They flew back to the tube. I remember that so vividly in my mind. I was like, no way. And they weren't close. Like, they were far, like, boom, boom.
I think we just incriminated ourselves. We should have pretended like we weren't there.
No, I don't care.
Disclaimer, we weren't there.
It's not like we did it on purpose. Not like I went, okay, we're going to injure Sarah.
No, it's the Martin curse. The Martin curse.
Yeah, don't take us boating. Except for take us boating because I love it. It's so fun.
I haven't been in years. I want to go again.
I know.
Oh, man. I hope you guys thought of some stories to this. So go ahead and share them with us because we want to hear the ones where you get wrecked, okay? Everyone has Lake Powell stories during storms and the houseboat going crazy. So think about that.
We could literally have a whole episode of Lake Powell.
I think we could. Oh my gosh.
Lake Powell is so much fun. I want to go back so bad.
Wait, we should. We're doing that. Think of those Lake Powell stories. Thank you very much. What's next week?
Next week will be a time I was babysitting.
Freak yeah. Let's go.
Have a good one, guys.